Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where this time we're going to be discussing some more interesting, weird, and outright bizarre Star Wars theories. Now, the thing about the Star Wars universe is there is plenty of speculation and room for interpretation with certain events and characters, so let's dive right into it. First up, this theory comes from the idea that Darth Vader did not die in Return of the Jedi due to the injury sustained from the Force lightning from Palpatine. Instead, he willingly asked Luke to take his mask off so that he could die and become one with the Force because he had reached a point with the light side that he just kind of wanted to surrender himself to the Force, atone for his past sins. And this one is interesting because I personally feel like, you know, his suit was damaged due to the electric circuitry kind of just going haywire. The suit was his life support, sustaining his ability to breathe. So I think that's probably why, but it's a fun theory nonetheless. This one I really like. So this theory comes from the idea that in the duel on the Invisible Hand in Revenge of the Sith, Dooku was instructed by Palpatine to kill Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you see early on that Dooku removes Kenobi from the fight by using the Force to throw him into the wall and basically knock him out, and then brings a platform down on top of him. And I think that was Dooku just not bringing himself to kill Obi-Wan, because I think if he really wanted to, he could have, force pulled Obi-Wan into his lightsaber. He could have killed Kenobi if he really wanted to. And I feel like he didn't because of his attachment to the Jedi. And I think it was at that moment that Palpatine decided that Dooku had to die. And that was when that decision was made. So that's a fun one. I think probably Palpatine intended for Anakin to kill Dooku in that fight regardless, but it's still fun to speculate if there was a chance he legitimately wanted to keep Dooku around for one reason or another, and Dooku's defiance and refusing to kill Obi-Wan just kind of put an axe in that theory. Um, this next one is a popular one that's gone back a long time, and that's the idea that Boba Fett was the one that ramaged the Lars homestead in A New Hope. Due to the corpses of Owen and Beru being burned and the smoke and obvious signs of a fire and Boba Fett using a flamethrower. That's where that whole idea comes from. And I think it's fun. I mean, I think it's definitely possible. I think it's more likely stormtroopers who were the ones, in that pursuit were the ones that did it, but it's still fun to think about. So all right, this one we're going to stay on the topic of Boba Fett, and this theory is that Boba Fett is hired by Vader and kind of favored by Vader because him being a clone reminds him of Captain Rex. Back in the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker and Captain Rex were very close. They served in the 501st together. Anakin had a great deal of respect and admiration for Rex, and I think it could be that and deep inside of him, that part of Anakin that still exists, that like the idea of having this loyal, like with the same voice, uh, clone trooper surrogate, basically, that would do his bidding. Which I think it's a fun theory. I don't think it was written intended that way, but it does make sense. It makes sense. Um, this next one, so this is about Corky Crè. He is a member of the Duchess Satine Kryze's family that appears in the Clone Wars. As we know, there is a history between Obi-Wan and the Duchess, and this theory is that Corky is Obi-Wan's illegitimate son. his child that he had with Duchess Satine. Um, I don't think, I really don't think Obi-Wan has an illegitimate son out there in the galaxy, but there is a little bit of a resemblance. Corky's kind of come and gone in Star Wars and hasn't really popped up or, had any further storylines. So definitely fun theory. The idea of them having a child outside of the order is pretty fun, but I don't know. I don't know about that one. This next theory is about Ahsoka, and if you're familiar with the Mortis Gods arc of the Clone Wars, this theory is that Ahsoka is basically either the embodiment of the daughter or destined to become the daughter. That would explain why she hasn't been killed off, why she kind of has this force immortality in a way. And I think this theory is further supported by in the Ahsoka series. You see the statues of the Mortis gods on Peridia. So I definitely think they're going to do something with that storyline. And, maybe she is destined to kind of transcend into becoming the next version of the daughter. Um, but I mean, like I said, for Ahsoka, who has been around a long time and has survived near death experiences, I think that may be the direction they're going with her character. So, and this theory is that Obi-Wan did not finish off Anakin on Mustafar because he held so much resentment and rage about what Anakin did to the Jedi Order, Obi-Wan's friends, his way of life, the Republic. Basically, Obi-Wan tapped into the dark side a little bit and just wanted to watch Anakin suffer. Um, the Jedi way would probably be to just put Anakin out of his misery when you see him laying there burning and in excruciating pain. You've removed three of his limbs, but Obi-Wan just kind of watches and then walks away. The Revenge of the Sith novelization by Matthew Stover kind of hints at the idea that it would be a mercy to kill him, and Obi-Wan wasn't particularly feeling merciful. Um, Definitely does sound like Obi-Wan might have come as close to the dark side as he's ever been, like in that moment. So there could be something there. All right. And this last theory is going to be that Palpatine's grand plan goes all the way back to Darth Bane, and essentially the Force essence transfer that every Sith who ever lived basically kills their master, and then the essence is transferred down, and it keeps transferring down. And his ultimate plan was for Anakin to strike him down once he became powerful enough to where Palpatine could then transfer his essence to Anakin. That's why he wanted Anakin to be his Padawan, to be as powerful as possible. And that's why he was upset when Anakin lost the duel on Mustafar and got into the suit and lost his potential to be as powerful. And then you see in The Rise of Skywalker that he tries the Force Essence thing with Rey. I mean, I do think there is a lot of truth to the Force Essence thing. I don't really like the idea that every Sith who ever lived is one single entity. Um, so I mean, I don't think they should lean too hard into that being it, but I definitely think at the time of the Rise of Skywalker, he was trying to transfer his essence into either Kylo Ren or Rey, depending on how events played out. So, uh, like I said, not too big of a fan of that one, but yeah, that's gonna be all I got for this video. I appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe button, and as always, may the Force be with you. Now let's blow up that like button and go home.